Hi, my name is Manpreet Singh and welcome to my YouTube channel. This channel focuses on real estate and mortgage insights. This channel aims to empower viewers with the knowledge to make informed decisions in the real estate market. Please subscribe to stay informed about the Canadian real estate market. Today I have a special guest, Mr. Nishan Ahluwalia. Nishan, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, Manpreet. Thank you for the opportunity.
No problem. I'm going to start off with a few questions and take the conversation from there. My first question is, how long have you been in the business and what exactly inspired you to join real estate?
So it's been 5 years. I was in the engineering field before, and it was very strange how this happened. To be honest, back in the days, like 10 years ago, I used to literally hate real estate advertisement when I'm let's say I'm driving and I'm turning on the radio and all these ads are coming, and I used to get literally pissed at that, and I was like, what are these guys selling, I used to literally hate this profession, but it is not less than a miracle how I felt into it. So I've met somebody who said something that really triggered me at an event, and it really changed the whole perception of your life. And instead of being stuck in 9 to 5 working your butt off day and night, and you're not going to be getting anywhere anytime soon, when you do the math, after paying all the taxes and all the expenses in Canada, you're just left with literally nothing. So I couldn't imagine myself doing the same run every single day, going to work, coming home, and seeing the daylight only on the weekend. And
The rat race.
And the rat race, literally. So I said, you know what, I wanted to open some kind of business. I was going more towards coming from tech background. I was planning to get into some gadget manufacturing with a partner. And I was also thinking about opening a security company. I was planning on opening a restaurant, something that I can enjoy, I can be passionate about. And when the thought of real estate came, I was like, real estate is such a good tool, because I remember making so much equity from my first home that I bought with my brother back in 2013, 400K for a semi-detached in Brampton, 1800 square feet, which could be like 1.2 million easily today date.
Nice.
So I said, you know what, there's so much money to be made in real estate. We will be, the only way we can get rich or, get really wealthy is only with real estate. And I got into real estate thinking as an investor for myself. Like I'll be buying property for myself. Why not? While making money for myself, why not? I help people, go through the same journey with me and build that generational wealth.
Right.
And also being transparent as a realtor, was very important for me as well, which I felt there was a lack in the industry, the lack of transparency, lack of honesty.
Yeah.
So I came up with this plan of buying real estate for myself while helping others, and changing the game a little bit with more transparency, more honesty, and walking people through the actual process. Instead of telling you, okay, this property is worth X dollars, I show you why is it worth that much, why you should buy this property, why you should not buy this property, right? And that really affected my business in a good way, and that's why that is secret sauce of my success as well. And that's why I get 90% of my business from my referrals, from friends. And because they know me as a person as well, and plus as a realtor as well, what I have done for them. And yeah, coming back to your question, this is how the whole coming into real estate happened. And I'm very grateful that God guided me into this direction, because end of the day, we are puppets.
Yeah.
We don't know which direction, at what moment, what time frame the God is going to put something in your brain and give you a signal. Go this way, go that way, right? It is in His hands. And I felt this was supernatural, and God guided me to go into this direction, and I love every bit of it.
That's really impressive how you said that we are only the puppets. We don't know what's going to happen the next second.
Yeah.
So, of course, you get the right signals and then you start heading in that direction, right? I also figured out that you work with a lot of first-time home buyers, right? And as well as investors. But I'm going to come back to the first-time home buyers. So what are the common mistakes and the first-time home buyers usually make when they're in the process of purchasing? And what are the best steps that they can take, in your opinion, to avoid these mistakes?
Yeah. There are a lot of issues that first-time buyers face mentally. even before getting into real estate, they are very fearful, very afraid, which I was as well. When I was planning to buy home, I was very comfortable in my basement. And when my dad came from back home, he told me, there's no way he's living in the basement. You guys have to, buy home. We bought the home very next week, literally very next week. But we were just comfortable there. We had income, we had the money as well. I was working full time, my brother was working, and we were just hesitant to get into the field because we were very comfortable paying that rent and saving up the money. But when we got the taste of real estate, we were like, why were we spending so much time in the basement? We could have been homeowner long time ago, right? So in our case, my dad was the trigger, right? So in coming back to your question, the biggest issues the first time home buyers face, or biggest fears they carry, is the thought of becoming the homeowner.
The hesitation.
The hesitation, right?
Yeah.
Number one. And the issues that they face is the credit score. They don't keep an eye on the score, and they realize they missed Roger's payment, or they forgot to pay their bills on time. The credit score is 500 right now, and your credit score is your biggest power in Canada
100%.
or in Western countries. Like your credit score is everything. Second biggest mistake they do is not checking the affordability. Let's say they jump into this home buying journey. Nobody's walking them through the whole process of calculating their expenses, the mortgage, property tax, what is their condo fees going to be.
Basically the pre-approval.
The pre-approval step. They call the agent, they say, yeah, let's go look at homes, let's buy this property. And once their mortgage starts, and they are panicking, they're like, what's going on? This is unmanageable for them. Buying a home is easy. Affordability is a big problem. So that's where first-time buyers need to be very careful. Run your numbers. Make sure you're comfortable with those numbers. Only buy property if you can afford such property. Your first home. Now coming to the third mistake they make, your first home is never a dream home.
True. I agree 100%.
A lot of first time buyers, they call me and they're like, we want to buy a semi-detached or detached home, and I tell them like that is going to be close to $1 million, and you're currently qualified for 600 to 700K home. They're like, we'll wait a couple more years, and that's when we'll start the journey again. And couple years later, the price of the townhome is now 800-900, and that townhome that they could have bought back then is also out of range now. You cannot go back in time. So going for that dream property is also a big mistake they make. You have to start small. Your first home is a stepping stone. You have to enter the real estate market. Stop paying somebody else's mortgage. Start paying your own mortgage. And once you start building that equity, then you can multiply on the properties. But you can always get to the dream home after 2-3 flips. Your first home again is never going to be a dream home.
True. I think it's very important to jump in the market as soon as you realize that you can afford this, because if you are renting for a long period of time, then what exactly you're waiting for, right?
Exactly.
As long as you have the enough down payment, or even what's happening these days is a lot of aggressive programs. Also the support from the government. Now we're going to have the re-examination, so that's going to affect the affordability as well. And the government is heading in the right direction in making housing more affordable. They took a little bit longer, but at least now they're heading in the right direction.
No, they do have a lot of good programs coming every now and then. We had first-time homebuyer incentive. You can buy with 5%, and government would implement 5% from their side. That got expired. It didn't work for various reasons. Let's not get into that. Now they're coming up with the 30-year amortization. When I posted a video about it, there were so many comments. Oh, now we'll pay high interest and all that. Nobody's looking at the positive side of it, that your monthly mortgage is going to drop substantially. Right? And now also instead of putting 20% down when you cross $1 million, now you can buy up to 1.5 million. So it is going to be much more affordable and easy for the first time buyers to tap into that market, or at least enter the market and get into the home buying journey than before. And the qualification has also increased. If somebody is making 120K, before the multiplier was income times 4, they could only buy like a condo or something. Now with income times 5, they can buy a 600K home, maybe a little bit more. So that higher buying power, low monthly payment, it is only going to make things better.
So 100%.
That is another mistake the home buyers make, that they use very traditional approach. they talk with maybe one mortgage broker or one realtor, and they tell them something about their qualification, and they feel like they are very limited. But being in the industry, you are also a mortgage broker. There's so many ways you can help them. You can have cashback mortgage from the bank. You can get RSP loan. You can get into co-ownership program, rent to own. There's so many different avenues that they can tap into to get into the home buying journey. But they are very limited because of the information they were provided upfront, that they're not able to explore the world out there. So that is another mistake the first time buyers make.
I think that's very important to work with the right realtor as well as mortgage professional, because the more skilled and the more experienced they can guide you in the right direction, right? Than working with a rookie realtor or mortgage guy,
Exactly.
right? And remember how we met the first time. You sold a property right across the street from my house, and that's how we met in the beginning. So I was going to come to the sales part of real estate. And my question is, when you are selling a property, what is the right strategy to market it? And remember, that property, somebody else was trying to sell it. You remember?
Yes.
And they failed, they couldn't sell it. And then you came in because I saw somebody else sign on that property. And you sold that property within a matter of few days. So what was the right strategy that you used in that specific case that worked in terms of marketing that property?
See, that was early 2023, and it was still a very slow market. And this property was listed for a couple months. He's a good friend of mine, the seller. We used to play cricket together.
Nice.
And he told me, Nishan, I'm in a bit of a problem here, and we need to sell the property. These are the issues that we were facing. So there was a lack of presentation. The staging was not good enough. There was lack of marketing. The agent didn't had that much of a social presence, or it was not good with videos or whatever the case may be. So we came in with a marketing plan as well, and also door knocking. That's how I met you. So I knocked on your door telling you about this property is hitting the market, and then we door knock again telling you, okay, we sold this property, we have more buyers if you're planning to sell. And so presentation, marketing, and how hard you work on the property. Are you doing open houses? Are you sending out flyers in the area? So basically everybody in that neighborhood should know about this property hitting the market. If nobody knows, that means you're not doing the marketing properly. So if people are not coming into the door, they're not coming for the showing, that means there's a lack in your marketing. If they're coming in the door and you're not getting the offer, that means your pricing is not good. So you have to price reasonably. It cannot be inflated too high, so that nobody's even willing to come or give you that number. If still it's not selling, then there's something serious that you need to work on, right? Maybe property has issues or whatever the case may be. So selling a property is very tough task, especially in today's market where people have a lot of options. But inventory is moving, but only for the properties which are marketed well, priced well, and the agent is doing the right work.
But when you're listing a property, do you prefer taking offers, or you just price the property right and just hope it sells for that price?
See, those days are gone when you underlist the property below the market value and you let the market decide and you go into the bidding war. I feel like in today's market, it is very important to list it at the market value or slightly higher to have that negotiation room. I should not be saying it openly, but yeah, you should have that, buffer for negotiation, because whoever is going to come, they are going to negotiate, for that mental satisfaction. So yeah, like that is the right approach, to go with the very reasonable price on the sale price, like list it at a reasonable price. And then that way you will get more attention, more showings, and you will get serious people walking through those doors. You underlist, you will have people, lot of showings. Okay, when you let's say property's value is 900k, you list it at 799k, you'll get lot of showings, lot of people entering through those doors, but they will be offering you 800k or less, or maybe slightly more. So that is the mindset of the buyers in today's market. You can't even blame the showing agents for this. That's how the buyer mentality is right now. The negotiating hard, right? So even though it's unreasonable, they're still negotiating on, like, they're doing their whatever they have to do. So that is why it's very important to list it at the market value in today's market.
I think when it comes to pricing the property or taking offers or not to take offers, it really depends on the market scenario.
Yeah.
And if the market is hot, of course, you can play the offer date.
Yes, you can
thing
play that
and
game.
You can play that game, and hopefully it will work.
Yeah.
But I think that strategy will only depend on the scenario of the market at that point of time, right?
Yeah. If it is a seller's market, by all means.
Yeah.
But in this market, it has to be listed reasonably.
Nice. And you mentioned you are working with a lot of commercial clients.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about dealing with residential clients and commercial clients. And let's say if there's an investor client that's looking to invest in a commercial space,
Yeah.
and what are the benefits? And I'm leaning more towards the tenancy laws from residential perspective and the commercial perspective.
Exactly. So I have transitioned heavily from residential side or resale side of real estate, going into commercial more because I see the demand is huge on the commercial side. The biggest difference between the two categories of buyers I see is the intelligence in the investors.
Yeah.
When you're working with commercial investors or commercial buyers in general, they know exactly about their financing. They know exactly how much their construction cost will be. They know exactly how much their monthly expenses will be. If they don't, they have people who are they have been working in the past, or if they ask us for guidance, we give them the numbers. But they are very well prepared when they are getting into commercial investment. Whereas first time buyers or
very different
buyers, they need a lot of hand holding, they need a lot of guidance, they need maybe 1, 2, 3 sessions, lot of follow-ups, and they need a complete package of education which we provide through our webinars, seminars, or in-person sessions.
Right.
So they need a lot of that, whereas in commercial it is, I'm not going to say it's easy, but those buyers are very well equipped with all the information that they need, and all they ask us is for stats in the area. What is the price per square feet? What is the rent per square feet? And what are the sales? What kind of tenants are in the area? All that. So commercial is very powerful. Like I said, it's picking up right now like crazy because work from home culture is going away.
Yes.
Lot of companies, lot of corporate companies are calling the employees back because the productivity has gone down since they have been working home.
Yeah.
So now they want them to come back to offices.
Like office spaces, yeah.
5 million square feet of space, of office space in Toronto has been leased in Q1 of this year. 5 million square feet. So that explains like how the demand is going up for office spaces.
See, that's the difference working with a professional. You already know these figures, and a lot of people, they don't know that how much square feet and worth of commercial space was leased within this year.
Exactly.
So that's amazing, impressive.
So I'm big on numbers. So I always educate myself on the monthly stats, annual stats in residential, in condos, in commercial, in rental, so that you know how much plus and minus is going around you, and that way if you're educated, you can educate your clients.
100%.
If you have no idea what is month over month appreciation or year over year, how much detach has gone up or how much the retail commercial has gone up or down, you won't be able to negotiate, you won't be able to guide them, and that will go against you in the long run. So 100%. It's very important to know your numbers. So yeah, thank you.
And remember how I was saying about the tenancy laws? I think the commercial investors, they feel more comfortable than residential investors because of the tenancy laws. Do you feel that difference?
Oh yeah, big time. See, if your tenant stops paying rent in residential, they have to wait for 8-9 months to go
Maybe
to LTP, or even more in some cases, and they will lose the rent for the whole period, right? And they are in a huge financial loss. Whereas in commercial, you give them 10 days. Within 10 days, if they're not giving you the rent, you put their stuff outside, put a note, and you can literally lock the door.
Yeah.
Right? So that becomes much more powerful in terms of commercial, investing. That you won't be bleeding on that monthly basis, and your investment is safe that way. On top of that, your TMI, tax, maintenance, and insurance is paid by the tenant. Whereas in residential, you pay your mortgage plus TMI.
Yes.
And then you're left with maybe few dollars to take home with your cash flow. If the property is not cash flowing positive, it could be cash flowing negative as well, right? In condos, if the condo fee is high, or if you overpaid for the property, or if you buying a new construction and you did not check the price per square feet difference versus resale, and you end up buying property 200-300K over the market value, then you may be bleeding on the negative cash flow again. So coming back to your question, commercial is much more safer in that sense, and that's why it is such a big investment. And commercial demand is always very high because we don't see that many plazas coming around us. We don't see.
I was gonna ask you this: the inventory for residential and commercial.
Yeah.
Let's say if a client approaches you and they say, okay, this is what I want.
Yeah.
In terms of my commercial space, these many offices or this many square footage for the warehouse.
Yeah.
Do you find that inventory issue? Because now they are asking for a specific property, and in that area where they're looking to get it, it might not even exist, right?
Yeah.
Whereas residential, there's a lot of properties that you can get them, right?
Exactly.
So do you get that issue? I mean, in terms of the inventory?
So in residential, there's a lot of inventory to choose from. You have so many options. The negotiation room is there, and in any category you name it, condos especially is a lot of inventory. Townhomes, comparatively less inventory, but a lot of options to choose from. Whenever somebody is calling me, they want to buy home in a specific budget range. Either you have different areas to choose from, or you cut down on the size, or you go with a little bit older property. There's so many variables. You can always work around it, right? In commercial, when somebody calls you, they want to open a dentistry in a specific area, and they want to be within that radius, and it is so hard to find something specific, right? Because there are not so many zonings that allow for commercial construction around you. So that's why the demand for commercial is always very high, and we try our best to find off market properties in commercial to address their needs. But yes, it is very challenging to get that inventory for the buyer in commercial.
Because if they're asking for a specific property,
especially when they're specific. If they're asking for, let's say, a shell unit, empty unit that they want to construct, there are a lot of options you can choose from, especially offices. A lot of inventory in the office comparatively versus industrial and retail. Especially retail is the most highest in demand and least in inventory. Retail commercial spaces mostly in plazas. So industrial and office still manageable.
Right. And these clients, are they looking for a property with already a tenant, or they are owner operators? They want to run their own business.
It's a very good mix. I would say 50% is investor and 50% is businesses, and that's where I feel big difference between residential and commercial, because all these commercial businessmen, they are very successful. The only reason they're looking for space because their business is working. They're making a lot of profit from their business, and they are multiplying their locations, or their business is booming. Whereas in residential, we don't see last 2 years we have seen zero equity versus where we are right now from last 2 years since 2022, zero growth in appreciation. Right. So if you're dependent on the appreciation on the property in residential, you're not going to make the profit. You have to look at the cash flow aspect of it.
100%.
So in commercial world, if your business is booming and you're making that equity, sales are high, the rent is going up, your appreciation is going up. So working with these commercial people, commercial buyers, you notice that this side of world is different. On the other side, when you deal with the regular buyers or first time buyers, they complain about the economy, they complain about their jobs, they complain about how tough it is getting in Canada. They're leaving Canada, they want to go to US, they want to go Mexico.
So a lot of negativity,
lot of negativity on the residential side when we speak with the people, and I don't blame them. This is a very tough environment we are in. It is the truth. We might be heading into a recession, but when we talk to the commercial buyers or commercial investors, their mindset is different. They are completely positive. I have never heard them talk about how bad the country is, how bad the market is, how bad the rates are. They're always positive because they know if they're paying high interest, if their business is not doing good in last 6 months, they know their business model is good. They have made so much money in last 10 years. They can come back strong and they can do well again. They have very different approach to the market.
Because they see it as a tool. The property they are getting, they're seeing it as a tool to make more money.
Exactly.
So they're like, I'm okay to pay more, but I know I'm going to probably make 5x or 10x more with this investment Whereas residential, if let's say you're paying 3,000 as a rent, and now
Yeah.
your mortgage is going to be 3,300, you'll be like, okay, I'm a $300 deficit,
more.
right?
Yeah.
So that's where the difference comes in.
Exactly.
And my last and most important question is: we work in a very competitive environment. A lot of real estate agents, a lot of mortgage professionals are in the same market. So how do you differentiate yourself from others? What is the factors that help you stand out from the crowd?
Yeah. Very good question. So I noticed it is a very competitive field. 70,000 plus agents in Toronto board, and you will be surprised that 80% of the realtors do one deal in a year or less. Okay, it's the top 5% realtors that are doing 90% of the transactions in Toronto board. So you have to be working with the right people. That's where I have this approach of being there every single time they call me. Any data they need, any information they need, we provide upfront information. When they meet us, we provide them with a presentation to educate them on the selling, buying, investing process.
Right.
So without any obligation, I provide them exactly what they need to be successful in their venture. And that's where the difference is. If you call a part-time agent and they will offer you a cashback, even though they have zero experience, zero knowledge, you'll be happy getting that $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 in your pocket. But in the long run, if you lose $50,000, $100,000, or even more, we have seen people losing $300,000 in new construction, right? If you don't do your due diligence, somebody's not giving you the numbers, somebody's not giving you the guidance. That's where people go wrong. That's where a lot of buyers they make mistake. So for me to stand out from the rest of the competition, I keep it very simple. I try to be transparent. All the information is provided upfront. And we have a very team-based approach. So any kind of support or resources they need, mortgage brokers like yourself, lawyers, home inspectors, movers. If I'm not there, my team members are there to do the showings for them, or taking them to presentation centers for the builders and showing commercial properties, you name it. So having that knowledge in all three categories, commercial, residential, and new construction, and having that solid branding with a lot of information sharing on the social media platforms, and being there for them all the time is, I think, the defining factor.
I think everything is your system is working perfectly, because that's why you have this success in the real estate business, and that's why you were the agent of the year for your brokerage for last year. So Nishan, I would like to thank you so much for your time and this amazing conversation. I really learned a lot. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me here.